Hello there YouTube, it's your boy AFBN Gaming, and today we're bringing you a story, MrBeast being exposed, drama, what? This and more on AF Breaking News. So, as of yesterday, about, I want to say 10-11 p.m., at least for me, it was that time, MrBeast's former editor, he used to edit videos and, like, videographer or whatever, he used to work with them about a year ago, posted out a tweet saying, yeah, he came out with some allegations against MrBeast, saying that, it was, while he worked with him, he was actually getting yelled at, he was getting bullied, he was, being called mentally, as you would say, mentally slow. I don't want to say that word because who knows what people will say. And he was also told that he was being replaceable with MrBeast every day he worked, which is interesting because there's a lot of things he also said. He also said that he would be called an absolute idiot every time he would make a mistake on a MrBeast video, which is kind of insane because I don't know if you guys have seen MrBeast, but he seems like a genuinely nice guy, but maybe there's something else that we're not seeing here. And yeah, these are tweets he tweeted out, and these got a lot of tractions. You can see the likes to and reposts and all that. And he also said, you can see right there, he would say that if he quoted MrBeast, I'm quoting MrBeast, I know, right? If we ever leave the team, we shouldn't be set up for success after. That thing about that, and all these statements, I don't know, it's just a lot of stuff that I don't really know. And then he just says that, as you can see here, the screenshots, he says all these things, but I don't know. To me, it just kind of seems kind of weird. You know what? It might be true. I'm not going to say that I know for sure that he did or didn't, that this did or did not happen. However, he said he wasn't going to make a video, right? And then a little bit later on, he just says, screw it, I'm going to go make a video because this blew up. So I was like, so you were just gonna go say something, right? And then just because it's got some traction, got some clicks and stuff, now you're gonna make a video even though you said you weren't, basically contradicting what you just said, right? But there's also more. He also tried to show some proof, saying that here is some proof of what actually happened. Like he says here, the text, and then all the text really show here, I'll enlarge them on screen, all they really show is they just show that he was venting to a friend. It's kind of interesting how that goes, and you can see the dates and stuff there, but all it really proves is he was venting to a friend, and all it really shows is he's just been having a stressful time at that job. It doesn't really prove anything, it doesn't really count as receipts or anything, but he said on the video that he was going to be making, it's going to be coming out next week, and so I guess we're going to have to wait till then to see that. But there's actually a few things that kind of don't make sense to me. So I was watching his videos of when he had first joined MrBeast's team, and he made a video on that, and then I watched the other video saying when he left, which this is all from a year ago. I'll leave the links to that in the bottom in the description, so let's take a look at that.
Really high ups and there were some really low downs, but like all together, you know what, it's a job and we're making it work. I love the people I work with. Yup, okay. And I love everything about the company, man. So besides that,
so this first video I just showed you, this first clip is this one's taken from his video where it says that he just started working for MrBeast, and from what I saw, from what he was saying, he said he was genuinely enjoying it. It was just talking about, you know, having a great experience, but it's this part specifically that kind of sticks out to me. He says, like, he zooms in the camera and kind of looks like talking sarcastically, where he's talking about some of his coworkers and some of his experience there so far, and you know, you can take this as it is, but I'm not saying that this could be proof or not. I'm just saying that it's just something I noticed, you know, and it's really interesting now that, like, looking back at it. But here, I'll show you some more of some, like, things I find inconsistent.
The manager that we work with, he brought me into a room with Jimmy, also known as MrBeast. They brought me into a room with my contract, and basically, there's not a lot of tea in this. It's pretty simple. It was basically just like a friendship, and going to work was a blast each and every day from that. So they sat me down at a table, and it was MrBeast and the manager, and then me. So basically just like them two on one side, me on another side. And basically just said, hey man, I know this is kind of random, or it might seem random because you moved down here from so far away. And they said, hey, basically we realized that you aren't long-term in this, because I was planning on either moving to Los Angeles, backpacking across Asia, which I'm gonna do, or go to college in the fall. At the time I wasn't sure, but I was gonna do one of those 3 things in the fall. And they basically just said, we really just want people who are gonna be in here for the long term. And you have other aspirations, we can see that, and we know that's what you should be focusing on, not just this other channel if you really want to do other things.
Yeah, and then this other video is from also a year ago. This is the one where he says that he quit working for MrBeast, and in this one you can see that he's talking about some of the benefits he did, because what MrBeast did for him was apparently MrBeast did let him go, which they're saying it's kind of mutually. It's just because this guy wants to do his own thing, right? And that's totally fine, you know, if you want to go do your own thing. He said it was totally fine, but they let him go, which was like kind of like, oh, okay, I did my own thing. But MrBeast was also offered to pay him for his rent. He didn't have to leave right away. It was okay if he would pay him for months, which is what he said, quote unquote.
It was basically mutual. They asked me, are you still gonna do this? And I was like, yes. And they're like, all right, but you know this is what we're gonna say. We're gonna say you're gonna be let go if you answer yes. And I was like, yes. You know what I'm saying? If that didn't make sense, then that's pretty understandable. However, they did say some other things which were so kind of them. So what they did right after that, after they let me go, they said, all right, so we pay for the apartment that you live in right now down the road with other people, who also, by the way, MrBeast paid for my rent every month when I lived in North Carolina. And he said, all right, you can live here as long as you want. You can literally stay in this like pretty expensive apartment just until you feel comfortable leaving. Don't feel like you're in a rush. Stay as long as you want. Stay for months if you want to. It doesn't matter to us. And he was willing to pay my rent and let me live in that apartment, which I did move out of pretty quickly. However, I had the option to stay there for a long time, which is so insane to let him do. They're still paying me right now. I'm still technically working. I'm not going to give like any numbers or anything. They said we're still going to pay you for a while, and that is basically funding my trip to backpack across Asia, which is so insane. Just like imagine.
Yeah, as you saw in that clip I just showed, he's talking about how MrBeast was offering to fund what his next future plans were for like after he left, and that's one thing I found inconsistent, because in his tweet he said that he quoted MrBeast saying, "If we ever leave the team, we shouldn't be set up for success after," and I don't know, that just it isn't adding up with these clips. What he's saying here isn't adding up with what he's saying there, you know? It's just a lot of things that aren't like lining up. However, there's not really there's not much proof, you know? There's nothing that can definitely say, yes, MrBeast, is the worst guy, but there's also no proof saying MrBeast is also the best guy. And right now, we just have to really wait for details to come out, It's still developing, and actually I have something else to show. And yeah, so in this last clip I'm going to show right here, he basically just talks about how, like, being let go. He wasn't the only one that got let go at the time. Some other people got let go as well. However, like, he said that it made sense to him, and he was just saying all this stuff, and that he's still friends with everybody there. He still considers being friends with MrBeast. And it's interesting because I don't know, he said that there was no bad blood or anything like that, but he comes out a year later after that, and he comes out trying to expose MrBeast for something. I'm not gonna lie, I have not been keeping up with any MrBeast news. Maybe MrBeast, something happened in his career, or maybe he just feels salty about being let go, or who knows. Or maybe MrBeast really does not treat his people correctly, It's hard to tell right now. We still need details to come out. MrBeast himself has not tweeted anything out about this, and no one has really said anything about it. It's just right now, it's just developing. It just came out. I actually saw these tweets last night, but it was too late for me. I have work in the morning, so I couldn't have made the video right away, and then I had to do stuff after, and well, I'm just getting it out as quick as I can now. But yeah, in conclusion, all I can really say is there really is no hard evidence to say that MrBeast really did all these things to him. At the same time, though, if this guy's going to go out and call him out, he at least needs to bring out some proof, and he's going to make a video on it. So what some people are saying he's trying to do is trying to chase some of that clout, which I'm sorry, man, but I'm kind of leaning towards that. But I don't know, I don't know anything about like any other details besides what's out there right now. And so I don't know, if you guys enjoyed this, just leave a like down there. I'll make sure to make an update on it and see what happens, or if nothing happens, then I guess there won't be another video. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed. Please leave a like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.